Hello, race fans! Welcome back to the NASCAR Melling Series. There's 9 races to go in the season. This is race 24 of 32, the end of the third quarter of the season. Geico, not Gecko. Okay. Anyway, we're in a very interesting... Okay. Are you going to really do this? Okay, we're really going to do this? Same wheel, too. Where last time out was that was Bristol. Bristol, yes, Bristol. And because it was Bristol, very much an epic gamer moment broke out. Because that's what always happens at Bristol. Does this hang on? And David Land got his first career win. Which is weird, because that's not even really an open wheel style track. But this is! You can see, you can just tell it's different. Because, bam. There's a big hill. And if that doesn't, look at that. There's a sweeping turn to the right. There's a right turn. Yes, it's road course racing. It is America's road course. And by America's road course, of course, I mean Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Around halfway, approximately, or maybe 2/3 or a third of the way, depending on which direction you're going, between... It's about part way, around middle of the way, between Milwaukee and Green Bay, two of the big city, two of the 3 other sports cities, in Wisconsin. Because Milwaukee, you got the Bucks and the Brewers, and Green Bay, of course, is home to the Packers. Of course, the other city is Madison. That's just where University of Wisconsin is. We're not here to talk about Bucky Badger. We're here to talk about the NASCAR Melling Series here at Road America. Before we can get started with today's event, which I'm not even sure what it's called offhand, we're going to get that in a minute. We got to get to your starting lineup. I believe, is it John Cleese on pole? It is, and he starts on the outside. How weird. Cleese, we'll start next to Ron Stewart. Ron Stewart, that's a new one. Rod Stewart, that is your front row for today's race. Oh, yeah, speaking of the Milwaukee Brewers, it's the Robin Yount 200. Actually, it's a 180, my bad. Ann Wilson will line up next to Sir Topham Hatt. That is an ALMS, Chicago Tribune. Then Sammy Hagar and the Burnham Boilers 55. We'll start next to Stephen King. And then Logan Cloud, second in points. He's like 100 and something back of Ferris Bueller. It's a good starting spot for him. He is 116. Leads everybody in top 5s with 7. But that's even more than our points leader, who only has 5. But he's got only 9 top 10s as opposed to the 13 Ferris Bueller has. Jim Kirk will start alongside of him, then Robbie Krieger and Leonard McCoy. Benedict Cumberbatch and Eddie Money, Ringo Starr, Marty McFly, Kamikaze Games, Sylvester Stallone, Amy Schumer, Anthony Perkins, Starlight Glimmer, and Ward Gordon, your top half of the field. And Franklin Clinton, John Goodman, Ferris Bueller, your points leader. Knuckles, Alan Rickman, David Land. Who won last time out? Haywood Banks, Wee Man, The Fonz, Bob Dylan, then Wario, Amelia Earhart, Bob Seger, Stephen Hawking, Pete Townsend, Jack Nicholson as we go trackside. Tim Foster, not a great starting spot for him. He's next to Mitch Hedberg, Patrick Starr, and Emerald. That is your starting lineup. I'm sorry we had to go through it. I paced that terribly. I have no idea what that sign says because half of it is obscure. This was once the Mitchell Bridge, as you can kind of see clearly where there's a gap in the fence. They removed that. That's probably a bit of a good thing. I don't know. Could Rod Stewart, John Cleese, they've never won. Sir Topham Hatt has won once. I don't know how often Anna Wilson has. Very shiny day. This it is a Sunday afternoon here in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. 40 cars up the hill. The so-called outside line slower than the inside. Green flag is out. We are racing at Road America. We go, and it will be John Cleese taking the lead. They are 3 wide. Almost 4 wide. Jostling for position here over a 16-lap event. Rod Stewart is in second. Sir Topham Hatt in third. Ann Wilson fourth. Stephen King, Sammy Hagar, Logan Cloud all up here. Into turn 5 they go. I forgot, this one has some named corners. John Cleese will lead us through 6, now through turn 7, onto the legendary hurry downs. Okay, they aren't that legendary, but they do have a name. Here's the dangerous part of the track is the carousel. It's all too easy to just walk it a little bit wide. However, we're not expecting there to be much carnage. Cloud, what are you doing? It's a very risky spot. Alternate universes were used to walking it on the outside of the carousel. In fact, sending it off-road and still carrying on. Oh, what happened to Haywood Banks? Oh, he's got damage already. He spun! Bumped by Bob Dylan, gave him some side damage a bit, and then, oh! Bob Seger finishes off. Mitch Hedberg. No caution, as John Cleese will lead them off the final turn, turn 14. Up the hill they go. I wonder if there's a possible short course configuration that bypasses, that goes from turn 5 and takes that straight shot, but honestly, they'd probably have to make turn 5 into a chicane if they were going to do that. It would be really ovalish. As we go 3, yes, that's turn 3, believe it or not. A little kink was turn 2. This kink here is turn 4 here in the Moraine Sweep. But this little part, even though it leads back, kinks back to the left, that's not a corner, but this is turn 5. Rod Stewart, Sir Topham Hatt. Look at this, Stephen King going for 5th on Sammy Hagar here in the early going. Up through 6. I just call them kinks, but they're just kinks, I guess. They're a kink. They're not the kink. We get to that later. And they're not the Kinks. That's a band. And Ray Davies isn't in the series. Or any series. Cleese around in turn 9. The exit of turn of the carousel is turn 10, believe it or not. Now we bypass. There is an alternate hairpin they use, but most series just use the kink here. And this is the Kettle Bottoms 11A right there. In the Canada corner, turn 12. The little lead up in the Mitchell Bend is this left-hander here. That's turn 13. And then the final corner, turn 14. John Cleese easily looking like the class of the field. But he's not even the fastest car. That would have to be fourth place Ann Wilson. Even third place or Topham at. Second place Rod Stewart as they head through turn 2. The Briggs and Stratton sign. Oh, there's a little bit of a bridge there. There's this little weird bit of tarmac that I have no clue what it's used for. John Cleese leading them down the Moraine sweep. Going into turn 5, the bottom of the hill, as you can see, it really downhill there, and it was part of downhill. So there's a decent climb up the hill. This is one of two big hills you have to climb. Corvette Bridge. As you can see, there's some gravel there in 7. In the turn 8, as they clear through the hurry downs, Rod Stewart putting the pressure on. Trying to, at least. 9, now closing in on turn number 10. Tib Foster up. This one, Poet outside of the S's. Through. Almost out of sight now as they come to Canada corner. This has been sight. This is one of the big passing opportunities if you attempt to pass going into a corner. This one in turn 1 or the Canada corner in turn 1 or the big and turn 5. I would just like to remind everybody that the Skip Barber Racing School is present here. You can shop, dine, stay here in Road America and Elkhart Lake. Piggly Wiggly ads apparently. Concours Motors. Here's a nice view from outside of the track near turn 3. The entrance to turn 3. You can see, oh, so Topham Hat really walks it wide. He's had kind of a rough season. But he's actually gotten some decent sponsorship from FINA here. He finally got some sponsorship. Ah ha ha. That was a funny joke. In the turn 5. Oh, Rod Stewart. Oh, that was pretty good line through that corner that time by. Up through the Corvette Bridge by the Coca-Cola sign. This appears turn 7. You can make or break a run here for a lap right there. Any of these corners are. But turn 7's one that can really judge your pace. Turn 8, though, is a big one. And not here, the carousel. If you get the carousel wrong, then you're going to be losing time all the way to Canada corner. Entrance to turn 9 wrong, obviously get turn 10. Turn 11, you can pretty much take flat out for the most part. Same with turn 12. Turn 11A. Rod Stewart's been pretty close. We're going to see, is he going to make a move going into the Canada corner? No. But he is all over, and those cars are really shiny. Maybe a car length of separation. Maybe now 2. It could be growing to 2, maybe 3, which sounds like a lot. And on an oval, that would be a decent, fair amount. But it is a road course. Rod Stewart did not have a good run through 13 and 14. He got really close to the Cleveland Canada corner. Now, through turn 2. Now it's turn two. Last time at the line, he did catch a lot in. Haywood Banks has gotten severe rear damage. He's gotten major damage to the rear and to the right side of the car. And he's running in 39th. He has passed Bob Seeger. Very calm race if you can't tell. Starlight Glimmer, Anthony Perkins battling for position. Glimmer looks like she will take the spot. Now Ward Gordon into the hurry downs was side by side with Perkins, but Perkins got a great run off. Ferris Bueller up to 21st, so that's 6 spots, 6 points he's gained on Cloud since the start of the race, with the exception that Cloud has moved up to 7th from his 8th starting slot, which means he clawed back 4 of those. Now, how this point system works. 7th in points will get you about 146 points. 21st will get you a decent amount. I believe 100. So I believe it's that's a 46 point gain for this 94. It won't be enough to get the points lead, but it should cut it down to about 70. Cleese is losing time at Rod Stewart at the line every time. Problem for Stewart is he got caught last time by Sir Topham Hat. Haywood Banks gonna pit finally. I assume that I don't think he got any new damage this lap. I'm gonna guess he did. Bob Seeger's in 39, just now approaching, going into turn 5. Haywood Banks still in pit road as John Cleese hits turn 9. Banks still in his stall. I just saw a car part. Was it the rear? That was the bumper. 45-second stop. Cleese into Canada corner as Banks goes into 1. And Seeger in turns 9, now turn 10, really. Just to get an idea of how spread out this field is getting. Rod Stewart hounding Cleese. Now, we think everybody's going to have to make pit stops. After all, Haywood Banks just came in and had to put in a can of fuel. Only one can, though. Meaning, I'm going to guess they're going to come in around lap 10, 11, 12. If I had to be a betting man. Now, Rod Stewart. I don't want to say he's all over, but that was a good line to the corner. Now, we've seen a lot of times when a driver is trying to catch, they panic. They panic and end up running wide when they're trying to... Oh, kind of like that-ish. Battle for 8th place. Robbie Krieger wasn't 8th, but it looks like Jim Kirk is going to get the spot from... Oh. Our camera angle wasn't the greatest there. In terms of depth perception. Ferris Bueller up to 20th. That is very good. Now it's 43 spots. Haywood Banks rounding final as Bob Seeger hits the hurry downs. Cleese now hitting turn 11. Through the kettle bottoms in turn 11A as they head towards Canada Corner. And something majorly happened. Stewart just did not have a good run through the carousel and has lost time on John Cleese as we come close to halfway. Cloud running a little wide through Mitchell. John Cleese is going to pit here on lap 7 of 16. This is right before the halfway mark. Rod Stewart comes in. Sir Topomat stays out. Cloud comes in. Oh, this will be interesting, especially if... Oh, Bueller will come in and be on the same strategy. I think Banks might be in the clear then. Or, no, I think they might, when it comes to everybody who just pit, they'll probably have to pit another time. These guys have stayed out. They'll pit here on lap 8 if they can make it. I think they'll be able to make it to the end. As we go, jump up to the front. John Cleese, Rod Stewart, Ann Wilson, Logan Cloud, Robbie Krieger. Who has stayed out? Sir Topomat is your leader at the moment. Stephen King second. Sammy Hagar third. Marty McFly is fourth on track. Eddie Money fifth. Ringo Starr sixth. Amy Schumer seventh. Franklin Clinton Franklin eighth. John Goodman ninth. You can see Cleese just now. He's gonna hit turn 6. Goodman in 8. Hat now will be hitting turn 11. So 9 cars have stayed out. Theoretically, they should all be able to one-stop this. Oh. Oh, yeah, Haywood Banks had to make damage repair, so he's still in problems. Be interesting to see if anybody can think they can make it yet another lap, because that'd be major fuel savings. Hat comes in. It looks like they're coming in. Which is probably good, because this is the longest track on the NASCAR schedule. For all 3 series. Road America, no slouch. It doesn't even tell you the exact length there. It just gives you a rough estimate. It's a 4-mile. Track. Everybody out now. Sir Topham Hatt. He leaves pit road. He's easily getting past. Cloud's gonna get by him. That's big. Cloud up to 4th. That is worth 160 points, I believe. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18th, 19th. 18th is, I don't know where 18th is worth. I couldn't tell you the exact point tally offhand. Well, if 21 is 100, 18 should be 91. No, 109. Compared to 165, if I have my math right, that should be 54 points. Or 56. 56 would put the gap at 60 points. Cleese leads. Rod Stewart now under pressure from Ann Wilson. Chevy leading 2 Fords, then the Dodge of championship hopeful Logan Cloud. Cloud says it would be nice to win the championship. He would gladly settle for second. Cloud also said he'll consider driving more conservatively points-wise the rest of the year. He'd rather play it safe, lose out at a chance at a championship, than gamble and lose out on second as well. Because Cloud is 116 points back from the points lead. He's only 103 points ahead of 6th place Arthur Fonzarelli, which is very interesting. He's the only driver within a race of the points lead, but there's 8 other drivers within 2 races. Cloud really does not want to throw it away like he did last year. He threw away a great points runs with some bad luck, especially in August. It looked like he was throwing it away in April, May, and early June, but he has clawed back this points gap, and now we are, well, technically in universe this should be August, but it'll be September. Point is, we're now in the late summer stretch. Of course, I say that, and then Cloud's third on the fast lap chart. Look at this. Ann Wilson is 10th on said chart. Rod Stewart is 11th. Your leader's 25th. Oh, look at this. At the line. The top 4 separated by a second and a half at a road course with 6 laps to go. And then nearly 6 full seconds back to Sir Topham Hatt. Ferris Bueller running in 18th. Your fastest car, period, is the 32 of Jim Kirk, who runs 10th. Ward Gordon in the 7 is the second fastest. He runs 21st. Starlight Glimmer had a good stop. She's up to 13th. A great day. Organization. Oh, 3 cars under a blanket for third. Second, I mean. Cloud is all over the back of this 47. Cleese just opened up suddenly as lead just about a second. Everybody trying to search for more speed. Cat and mouse. Cloud content. He probably has to pit. The top 4 all have to pit. We do know Sir Topham Hatt probably does not have to pit. Oh, and these guys might have to pit, I should say. Nobody ran 9 laps, and that's what these guys have to do. They have to run 7 laps. They ran 28 miles. They'd have to run 36. That's an approximation. Road America, to be exact, is a little over 4 miles. If you're a stickler for complete accuracy, it's 4.048 miles. That's 6.515 kilometers. It also has a 4/5 of a mile asphalt karting surface and a defunct 1.1 mile off-road racing course. Engine failure for the 42. That is Marty McFly. Not too bad. It's only about as bad as it could possibly be. It's still serviceable. Marty McFly will be slow, and where did this? Because he is. It looks like the. It looks like it happened right at the start-finish line. Or going up the hill. Literally the worst spot where it could happen. The 29 in the pit road. Well, this is shaking up the back half of the grid as they navigate their way around. Tim Foster passing his teammate. What was looking like an average day for Lionel Messi Racing has turned nightmarish fast. They've not had the best of weekends. Blaze Alexander, I believe, missed the cup race. Marty McFly limping it around. Childress. Oh, Bob Seger looked like he was going to try and pass on the outside. McFly will likely drop to last because of this. And that was just terrible timing. He had that on the front straightaway, but just after he had passed the entrance to pit road. Interesting strategy. Leaders pitting. Now here a lot earlier than expected it. We had expected them to come in on at the end of lap 14 or the end of lap 15. They're in about 2 laps earlier than expected, a lot of these drivers. But a lot of these drivers who did pit on lap 7 staying out. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15, 16, 17. So it's 8 drivers at least. 16, 17, 18, 19. Cloud slots into 20th. Beeler 29. And this is not good for Cloud. You can see Mitch Hedberg is in between him and the top 3, or the drivers that were the top 3. Probably really hurt his chances at winning. Sir Topham Hatt will be your race leader at the line. This is the battle for 39th. Haywood Banks will take it over Marty McFly. John Cleese was your leader. He's pitted. He's coming out of 10. Now Hat going into 14. Is this going to be enough? Well, Hat's staying out. That's right. Hat might just win this on default. See you in King. Hagar. Star. Comes Schumer. Clinton. Goodman. Nobody coming to pit road. Oh, Mitch Hedberg on older tires gonna pass the 47. Oh, that's close. They'll put Wilson in the clutches of Logan Cloud. Cleese just hoping nobody can make it to the end. They're hoping that with everybody pitting, it will goad the leaders in the pitting. Although they're so far back that they're not going to be really catching. Topham Hatt just ran a 2:30. Oh, okay, that's a bad time to tell. This might be a blessing in the skies. Sir Topham Hatt could be just a little under, I would say at this point, 10 miles from his second career win. Remember, Starlight Glimmer had dominated earlier the year at Milwaukee, but it was Sir Topham Hatt who ended up winning. Are we seeing the same thing with John Cleese? We know 16th place John Cleese can make it on field. We don't know about everybody else. For these first few drivers, I don't know, some of these should theoretically be pitting this time by, or we got some people who ran 7 laps previously. Oh, Rickman's coming in. Wee Man, Patrick Starr, Emerald, Fonz, Stephen Hawking, Mitch Hedberg, Bob Seeger, all come in. That's 8 drivers, and I'm going to guess those are the drivers. For the most part, these guys, are all people who, well, I think are all guys who pitted. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That will put John Cleese back into the top 10. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Bueller, I think, is going to be a lot better off than these rest of these drivers are. Well, he's going to leapfrog a lot of drivers on these stops. Meaning, and he cycles out. Cloud will be about where he was. Bueller will not. He will have gained a few spots. The stop wasn't particularly lightning fast or anything. It was probably a good in-lap and out-lap. And the undercut, possibly. Sir Topham Hatt is not showing any signs of slowing down, though. That could be all she wrote, as he is 4 miles away as he crosses underneath the starter stand to receive the white flag. Eddie Money cracked. Tib Foster also coming in. It's going to hurt him. This should elevate these drivers. Rod Stewart still trying to get around John Cleese. This should put Cloud into 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, versus 20th for Ferris Bueller. Foster would be up to 24th, so that was a big gain. As everybody who came in on around lap 12 took right sides. But these drivers just taking a splash. But it's not going to matter, as Sir Topham had the fuel mileage necessary to pull it off, it looks like. Coming through Canada corner, unless he pulls an Al Unser Jr. in 96 and blows up right here, which I don't see him doing. Rounding the final turns. Any stutter from the 74? Do we see any? Doesn't look like it. He's heading up the hill normally. Sir Topham Hatt is going to win the Robin Yount 200. Here at Road America. Does not cracking on the final lap. Stephen King will be second. Sammy Hagar, Ringo Starr, Amy Schumer, your top 5. Is the top 7 only require a single trip down pit road. Not the greatest of days for Cloud, who will only gain 27 points, but it's a lot better. That is still 27 points closer. No! He gained 30. No, he gained 27. I cannot count. 24th for Tib Foster, so today it wasn't a total loss starting from the back of the grid. So there are your results. They're not quite official yet. Haywood Banks and Marty McFly still have yet to finish their race. Very interesting fuel mileage. Proved to be even an additional 30 seconds taken by these 7 who game the system, getting in the pit lane, getting some gas, and getting out could have made a difference, as Cleese only finished 29.2 back. Your official results are official. Sir Topham had a very consistent 2018 in the Melling Series, top 10 in points, moved up, just a train wreck, pardon the pun. Guinness came down, and now in 24 races, he has pulled off the victory in 2 of them. That is a win every 12 races, and we still have 8 races to go. It will be the 42 of Marty McFly coming in the rear. Ferris Bueller finishes 20th. Cloud right outside the top 10. Yes, that was some muscle. A really useful engine program for that 74 crew may have been a difference, as They may not have been the fastest engine, but they were the most reliable in terms of fuel mileage. Now, yes, I've been recording. Thank goodness. Sometimes I don't end up recording, and that really stinks. There's your gap. Leonard McCoy just finished came in 2 spots ahead. Will gain some ground in points. Surprisingly, only the top 8 now within 2 races. Guys like David Land and Bob Seeger having major falters. Starlight Glimmer had a decent run. Falls 2 spots to 18th. Wee Man, yet another. Yeah, wow, Logan Cloud misses out on that elusive 10th top 10. The illustrious. Nobody new cracking the 100 laps led. Wario leading with 131. It looks like Starlight Glimmer with 94 is in second. John Calisto is up to 89 laps led. That's 4th, I believe, on the charts. Yes, he even passed Stephen King, who may have led a lap today. Cloud. Leonard McCoy closes slightly. Bob Dylan did not. John Goodman, oh yes he did. And where are we heading next time? Next time it's Darlington. That's where Cup will be next time too. Trucks you'll see at New Hampshire. That's also the next Cup race. Melling has that weekend off. Afterwards, it's the start of the second West Coast Swing, as both the Melling Series and the Cup Series will go under the lights at a 2-mile oval. But not Michigan this time. For the first time since, I believe, 2010? I could be wrong on that. A second race this season at the California Speedway, also known as the Auto Club Speedway. We hope to see it. Guys, tune in for some exciting action. Darlington in New Hampshire, they look to be calmer races like this one. There are going to be some calm races, but we're going to have some action-packed ones. I've got, if the first 4 weekends on 2-milers are any indication, we're in for an exciting race. 2 races for Melling in the West Coast Swing. They got an off week after Darlington. Then their last off week, not counting All-Star break, is after California when the Cup goes to Portland. And then the weekend after that, we begin the next stretch of 5 straight races with another trip to a 2-miler. Believe it or not, a second race this year at Texas World, but this time it's a Melling Series race. So we got a lot of good racing in this series to look forward to coming up, as the last quarter of the season is Darlington, California, Texas World, Charlotte. I think that one's going to be on the Roval, Talladega, Memphis, Rockingham, and the season finale at Atlanta. So a very interesting smattering of tracks. One road course oval combination. One intermediate, one just barely intermediate that's almost closer to a short track. One short track. 2 non-plate super speedways. Did I say 2 intermediates? I should have. And a plate super speedway. It's a very mixed bag here in the Melling Series. We hope we'll join you in this final stretch at the end of the year. For everybody at the WesternCaves Sports Network, take care.